Imagine a time when the world's greatest athletes gathered in one place, not for fame or fortune, but to honor their gods. What sparked the creation of the ancient Olympic Games? And how did these events become one of the most celebrated traditions in human history? Stick around because we're diving into the origins of the Olympic Games and uncovering the roots of sports as we know it. When we think of the Olympics, we picture modern stadiums, global audiences, and athletes representing their countries. But the origins of the Olympic Games are far more humble yet much more intense. They date back to ancient Greece, where a simple idea, to bring athletes together in honor of the gods, created a tradition that would echo through history. From grueling races to brutal wrestling matches, the ancient Olympics were as much about spiritual devotion as they were about physical prowess. Let's dive into the remarkable world of ancient Greek sports and see what these games really meant. Ancient Greece wasn't a united nation but rather a collection of fiercely independent city-states. So, why would they gather in one place every 4 years to compete? The answer lies in a mix of religious beliefs, social norms, and a need to prove who truly held the favor of the gods. But the Olympics were more than just a series of events. They were a means to unify, if only temporarily, warring factions in a time of tension. The challenge was maintaining peace and order among rival states, and the ancient Greeks found a unique solution in the Games. The first recorded Olympic Games took place in 776 BC in Olympia, a sanctuary city dedicated to Zeus, king of the gods. Olympia was a holy site, and competing there was seen as a tribute to the gods. Athletes would arrive from all over Greece to participate in events, and it wasn't just about skill, it was about pleasing the gods. Winners weren't awarded medals but wreaths of olive leaves, symbolizing divine approval. In those early years, the Games included only a single event, the stadium, a foot race around 600 feet long. Over time, other events were added, including the Dialos, a 2-length race, and eventually events like wrestling, boxing, chariot racing, and the pentathlon. Each event required its own specific skills and training, and athletes trained rigorously to honor their city-state and their deities. One of the most intense events was the Pankration, a brutal combination of wrestling and boxing with very few rules. It was so intense that death was not uncommon. But in the spirit of Greek values, it celebrated physical strength, resilience, and the power of the human body. The Pankration highlighted the Greeks' admiration for physical perfection and toughness, traits they believed were godlike. The Olympics also introduced the concept of a sacred truce, or ekacharya. During the Games, all conflicts between city-states were halted, allowing athletes and spectators to travel safely to Olympia. This truce was not just symbolic, it reflected the unity that Greek culture sought through honoring the gods. The Olympics thus became a time for celebration, peace, and competition, one where enemies could stand shoulder to shoulder, at least temporarily. The climax of the ancient Olympic Games wasn't the final event but rather the rituals that took place throughout the Games. The sacrifices to Zeus, the processions, and the hymns sung by the crowds made the Olympics not just an athletic event but a deeply spiritual experience. The Games were as much about connecting with the divine as they were about human competition. This combination of sport and spirituality created a cultural phenomenon that was unprecedented in scale and impact. Each winner's return to their city-state was a celebrated event. Some champions were even given free meals for life, statues in their likeness, and songs in their honor. Winning at the Olympics was seen as a divine endorsement of both the athlete and their city-state, making it a source of immense pride and prestige. The ancient Olympic Games lasted for over 1,000 years before eventually being banned in 393 AD by the Roman Emperor Theodosius, who saw them as a pagan ritual. But their influence endured. When the modern Olympic Games were revived in 1896, they drew directly from ancient traditions. The marathon, for instance, was inspired by the Greek soldier Phidippides, who supposedly ran from the battlefield of Marathon to Athens to announce a military victory. Even today, we see echoes of the ancient Olympics in the athletic ideals of strength, honor, and perseverance. The concept of athletes as representatives of their communities, the importance placed on fair competition, and the opening ceremonies all have roots in the ancient games. The Olympic torch relay and the concept of international peace through sports also harken back to the ancient Greeks' vision. The origins of the Olympic Games reveal a lot about the ancient Greeks, their values, their gods, and their passion for excellence. These games were more than a competition. They were a tribute to the divine, a testament to the power of unity, and a stage to showcase human strength and skill. As we watch the modern Olympics, we're witnessing a legacy that has traveled through centuries, reminding us that sports have always had the power to bring people together in awe and admiration. If this story opened your eyes to the past, subscribe for more insights into the ancient world and beyond.